Trust represents one of the fundamental pillars in any form of interpersonal relationship, be it friendship, romantic involvement, or family bond. In this context, in this video, I will meticulously address 10 personality traits that should be approached with caution, according to the precepts of Stoic philosophy. First and foremost, to assess if someone exhibits any of these traits I am about to mention, observation is required. However, this practice is relatively accessible. Simply analyze the individual's speech and actions attentively to discern their true nature. Therefore, to make it more transparent, I will proceed to comment on each of these profiles and clarify why placing trust in them is not advisable. Before we begin, I kindly ask you to check your subscription to the channel and to watch the video until the end so that you don't miss anything. Let's move on to the first type of person, narcissists. When dealing with narcissistic individuals, Stoics would remind us of the importance of not allowing others' behavior to affect our inner peace. Practicing indifference toward their self-centered actions allows us to maintain our mental peace in the face of their vanity. Think about it. If someone is always talking about themselves and barely cares about others, they are hardly someone you can trust, as they only have eyes for themselves and constantly prioritize their own needs. No matter who they are, you can't trust narcissistic individuals because they elevate their own image to be the most important thing in the world. They don't want anyone to be better or equal to them. They are the kind of people who will do anything to further enhance their self-image, and this compulsive act of desiring and admiring themselves is extremely dangerous because it's impossible to know how far such a person can go to maintain their desired image. Typically, they are the kind of individuals who make others take the blame for their own mistakes. Therefore, don't trust people who excessively talk about themselves and only seek to impose their opinions on others without listening to anyone else, as these individuals can harm you at any time to achieve their goals. The second type of person is the gossip. Stoicism also teaches us how to deal with gossip and hurtful words from others. Stoics emphasize the need not to give power to the opinions of others about us. If someone reveals secrets or shares information about another person, it is highly likely that the same person will do the same to you, gossiping about you and your life behind your back. Believe me, it's almost certain that this kind of thing will happen. When someone gossips, it's not just a habit but an action done for pure pleasure. Therefore, don't think that just because someone is your friend, they won't reveal your secrets to others. Don't make that mistake. The only advantage you can get from a gossip is if you want the information to spread, because then you just have to tell them the gossip, and they will do all the work for you. The third type of person that deserves our consideration is the one who persistently irritates us. When it comes to dealing with irritating or manipulative individuals, Stoic principles provide us with the valuable practice of self-reflection. Instead of allowing impulsive emotional reactions, we can interrupt and reflect on how our own perceptions and responses influenced the situation. It's one thing when we are going through difficult times in our lives, and due to daily stress, we easily lose patience with someone. In this circumstance, it's not so much the person themselves that irritates us but the weight of the burden we carry. However, a completely different situation occurs when we are calmer but still find ourselves getting irritated repeatedly in the presence of a specific individual. If someone has the ability to constantly irritate us, it's because they use subtlety to throw ideas that confuse us, gradually feeding our doubts in small doses. They do it in a way that we can't fully perceive their emotional and psychological games. Believe me, there are people who act this way purely for pleasure, satisfied in provoking and disturbing others. Therefore, it's wise to adopt a cautious stance against these subtle games, as when someone is capable of constantly irritating us, it means they are persistently provoking us with gestures and words, and often we don't even fully perceive this manipulation. The fourth type of person that deserves our attention is characterized by indecision. In the context of Stoic philosophy, we are encouraged to focus our energy on what we can control, our own decisions and actions. The reason why we shouldn't trust indecisive individuals is quite clear. How can we place our trust in someone who constantly hesitates when making decisions? If these individuals can't even clearly define a direction for their own lives, how can we trust their choices? Moreover, they are notoriously unpredictable, as their future decisions remain uncertain since their personalities are not yet fully formed. They are, therefore, indecisive individuals, lacking a solid enough personality to take actions and choose a path with conviction. In summary, trusting someone indecisive is as risky as entrusting a sharp knife to a child. You never know what they will do in the absence of supervision. The fifth type of person that deserves our attention is those who exhibit two-faced behavior. Following Stoic philosophy, we are advised to be cautious when dealing with them. Instead of worrying about the actions of these individuals, we should focus on cultivating virtue in our own character. You have surely encountered such people, those who seem to like you but spread rumors and speak ill of you behind your back. This behavior is not limited to you alone, they act in the same way with other people. Therefore, don't be surprised when you hear that they are speaking ill of you. One moment they are smiling and being friendly, and the next they are harming your reputation. My recommendation in this situation is that as soon as you begin to notice this type of behavior, it is wise to distance yourself from that relationship as quickly as possible. The sixth type is that of curious people. From a Stoic perspective, it is important to set boundaries in conversations and share information prudently. Stoicism advises us to keep a distance from people with insatiable curiosity, as this can lead to inappropriate disclosure of information. Moreover, this excessive curiosity may be related to envy, so it is wise to be cautious when sharing information with anyone. After all, it is difficult to be sure that this information will not be used harmfully in the future. If someone shows persistent curiosity about various aspects of your life, it is wise to maintain some distance or not fully trust that person. However, it is crucial to distinguish normal conversation from excessive curiosity. In normal situations, when getting to know someone or talking with a friend, it is natural for the person to want to explore topics related to your life, such as work, studies, and daily activities. This is part of normal interaction. However, the excessively curious individual is the one who constantly seeks details about your life and, at times, investigates sensitive topics. For example, they may inquire about your salary, which is already considered invasive. If you choose not to answer and change the subject, this person later repeats the same question. It is this behavior that deserves our caution. We must be careful when dealing with this type of person before entrusting them with our confidence. Therefore, not only should you exercise some reservation with them, but, if possible, it is advisable to maintain an appropriate distance. The seventh type of person is the one who is friendly with everyone. Stoicism reminds us that we cannot control how others perceive us. Instead of seeking universal approval, Stoics emphasize the importance of cultivating authenticity. Surely, we have all met someone like this, someone who smiles at everyone, wishes the best for everyone, embraces everyone, and says you can always count on them. In short, it's the famous type of person who wants to be popular, outgoing, and please everyone. I'm not saying we should judge someone just because they have these characteristics. What I want to advise is not to trust blindly because someone who smiles at everyone, tries to please everyone, and always makes promises has the sole goal of being popular. The goal of this type of person is to be the center of attention. For him or her, you are just one more, just a number, someone who can be won over. People like this constantly seek attention, living in illusions. Knowing this is always good to be cautious because outgoing people who want to be excessively popular often replace anyone quickly, and you could be next. Let's explore the eighth profile that deserves our reflection, the one who constantly criticizes something, especially other people. Within Stoic philosophy, the importance of continuous self-evaluation is emphasized instead of spending time and energy criticizing others. The true focus of Stoics lies in improving themselves and their character. Reflecting on this, when someone spends their time criticizing other people, whether through gossip, rumors, or even trying to damage someone's image, they are generally an individual of questionable character. Stop to think. If you are a worthy person, busy with responsibilities like work, taking care of your own life, and fulfilling your financial obligations, you are unlikely to waste your time speaking ill of others or spreading gossip. Those who engage in excessive criticism of other people's lives clearly do not have meaningful occupations and are dissatisfied enough to make unnecessary comments about others. Therefore, it is wise to maintain a certain degree of mistrust towards these people and not grant them your respect or consideration. After all, if someone is willing to speak ill of others easily, they might as well start speaking ill of you too. If you've made it this far, congratulations. Share in the comments if you've ever trusted and respected someone with some of these characteristics so far. The ninth type of individual that deserves our reflection is those who seem to be perpetually entangled in an endless series of problems. Within Stoic philosophy, we are encouraged to take responsibility for our own decisions and emotions instead of pointing fingers at luck or circumstances when facing challenges in life. These people live immersed in problems and conspiracies, often claiming to be victims of bad luck and viewing life as a constant punishment. Every day, they proclaim that a new difficulty has arisen, and each day seems to bring a new disastrous consequence. This person is there, lamenting their lack of understanding of what is happening and portraying every aspect of life as an impossible task. In summary, it is wise to maintain a dose of caution regarding this type of person. There is nothing wrong with being a bit skeptical, as if someone is constantly stuck in problems, it is not mere coincidence. It's not the universe conspiring against them, but the person themselves sabotaging their own life day after day. They probably make wrong decisions, don't learn from their mistakes, and most of the time, cannot control their own emotions. Therefore, I advise exercising a certain degree of vigilance in relation to this individual. If you get too involved in their sad and challenging narrative, to the point of always wanting to help, their problems can easily become your problems. Therefore, it is prudent to be cautious, as people who constantly attract obstacles and drama into their lives mostly have only one true difficulty, and that difficulty is themselves. You're unlikely to want to share that difficulty with them. The 10th and final type of person to consider is someone who pretends to pay attention to what you say. In such situations, Stoic philosophy advises us to be assertive and, if necessary, distance ourselves from conversations that do not add value. We all know someone like this. When you share an idea or talk about something important, they respond with a simple, "Yes, I understand, that's true," and nothing more. This can be frustrating and even disrespectful. The worst is when the person monopolizes the conversation with their own thoughts, and when it's your turn to speak, they simply pretend to listen, get distracted by the phone, or agree without really caring about what you're saying. In other words, they may have heard your words, but they are not really listening. After all, the minimum requirement for a meaningful conversation is that both parties pay attention. Therefore, if you find yourself in a situation where someone is clearly not paying attention or, worse, ignoring your words and being distracted by the phone, simply stop talking. There's no point in continuing a dialogue with someone who is not genuinely engaged in the conversation. If the person is not interested in listening or is simply pretending, don't waste your time. In that scenario, it's perfectly acceptable to get up and say you're leaving. After all, you're not obligated to invest your time and energy in people who don't show genuine interest in what you have to say. In summary, by examining these different types of people who can undermine trust, we learn valuable lessons for building more authentic and meaningful relationships. By incorporating Stoic teachings, we are encouraged to maintain our inner peace, cultivate virtue, practice authenticity, and exercise self-control in the face of interpersonal challenges. With this, we come to the end of this video, and I sincerely hope that these tips have been helpful to you. So, if this video made you reflect or learn something new, leave a like and a comment so that more people can discover the power of Stoic wisdom and choose another video on the screen to watch. This was my contribution. Thanks for watching.